Hey everyone, welcome to another MLM dumpster fire. Today we're back to cover a training for imacademy, and this one is a little bit different. It's not Millie. If you don't know who Millie is, she gets very unhinged on these calls. I've made like multiple videos on her. I think next week or 2 weeks from now we're gonna have another Christmassy video with Millie, so I'm scared for that and you should be too. But today we're gonna watch Sophia, who is a social media expert, which I have not seen any certificates about her being a social media expert. She currently has about 30,000 followers on Instagram. I have not seen her TikTok. I don't think she has one. It's not linked on her Instagram anyway. But she used to be a professional dancer, and I think she still might be. I don't know. So I believe she had accumulated a good amount of followers through posting dancing videos on Instagram or maybe even TikTok. And then she joined imacademy, and then apparently she self-proclaimed herself to be a social media expert. So now she's gonna teach us about social media mastery today. So that's gonna be fun. It's like a 1 hour long call. It's from that guy Nano that always has Millie host. So he usually starts with like praying and watching some YouTube videos with his downline, which he calls fam, which is very cultish in my opinion. So we're gonna skip that part because I firmly believe that Nano is just, he looks very young and he seems to me that he's just really brainwashed by Millie. So I'm just not gonna go into him today at all. We're gonna skip that part. We're gonna start up about 16 minutes into the call where Sophia comes in. Buckle up, get your coffee, your tea, snacks, whatever is your preference. I have my coffee here. I'm not using the butterfly mug anymore because it was way too giant and I just need to keep my coffee intake under control, so I bought a smaller cup. Before we get into the call, don't forget to click that like and subscribe button. It's a nice free way to support my channel if you would like, and as always, big shout out to all my channel members. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate your support, and let's just get into this. Like I said, we're gonna skip to about 16 minutes, which is when he starts introducing Sophia.
Okay, she's a content strategist, like I told you guys. She's able to come in here and guide you guys through the type of content that you guys should post. Yo, I'm trying to say, bro. And you know, when I see her, you know, at her professionalism is amazing, you know, because the best thing about something is sometimes we don't have somebody there to guide us and show us and give us the right topics and captions to use. And that's why Sophia is so dope. And that's what I think you guys could gain a lot from her. So, you know, I'm really looking forward to this call, guys. Look, if you guys are excited, put some fire emojis in the chat box, because I know that this is someone who's going to help this family. I know that this is somebody that's going to help us grow as an organization, as a team, help us put ourselves out there, help us show up more confidently, because this is a professional at what she does. And I'm about to step out of the way of greatness, and I'm going to pass it off to the woman, the myth, the legend. Her.
Before she starts though, he keeps calling her a professional and an expert, and she calls, oh my god, scared me. That scared the shit out of me. Anyways, how is she an expert? Where did she gain her expertise? I don't know, because when you take a look at other accounts and other people on social media that have millions and millions, hundreds of millions of followers, I don't know how 30k followers make you an expert. I think that's what it is. I think that's why she's saying that she's an expert, because she's got a little bit of following. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure there's no certification involved in this whatsoever. And I'm not sure what makes her a professional in their eyes.
Herself, Mrs. Sophia Aguilar. Thank you so much for doing this for the team and the whole entire Mornings with Nano community. We appreciate you. Keep killing it. Thank you for everything you've done for me and everything that you're going to do for this family. So take it away, fam. The floor is yours.
Wow. Thank you so much for that introduction. I feel so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so honored to have the opportunity to talk on this platform. Neno has been one of my mentors. I was in network marketing about 2 years ago. And like he said, looking back at our chat, I had asked him to be as a guest speaker. And let me tell you what God does. Okay. God does God things. And it wasn't the right time. And the reason why I know that is because God was putting me through a season of self-discovery and identity to know who I was and who I was called to be. And so I was saying, you know what, maybe it was good that I wasn't on the call back then, because right now is the right time. And when we had our call, I said, this is too good to be true. But I said, no. And then God just reminded me, it is good and it is true, because that is what God does. So
oh yeah, heads up, there's a lot of religious and spiritual manipulation in this. They also pray at the end of all of these calls. Like Nano usually prays with his followers, but this time Sophia's gonna slide in and she's gonna ask to pray herself at the end. So there's that.
So grateful. I'm so honored to be speaking on this platform. Thank you for everyone who took their time in the morning to come on this call and just listen, because I am ready to pour into you. Today is about you. Today is about maximizing your social media growth, your social media knowledge to take you to the next level. Now, when I say this, I want to let you know that we're going to be doing this your way. So I am teaching, but the way that I want you to digest this is for you to be showing up authentically and confidently, authentically and confidently in the way that God has called you to be. So I don't want you to become like me. I don't want you to be like Nano. I don't want you to do the exact same videos and duplicate what I do. I want you to take what I say and insert it into who you are and who you've been called to be, because I think that's super important. So I'm going to get started. I have so much to say, and I also want to make sure that, you guys are able to digest it all. The chat is open, for questions and comments. And I also have a few very important people on this call that have helped me get to where I am. So they will also be there in the chat in case you guys need my @name. It's Sagular_. And yeah, let's get started. So first of all, let's talk about social media. Social media has been this buzzword, this like crazy, sometimes like trigger word for a lot of people, but I want to let you guys know that I love social media. The power of social media is absolutely.
First of all, social media, it's not just one, it's two words. Also, I would not say that social media is a buzzword, because it's literally a name for all platforms like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. It's social media. So I'm not sure that I agreed that social media is a buzzword, but anyway.
Incredible. And in my background, so I was a professional dancer. I had a dance studio.
It just came to me, like, isn't it ironic that someone who calls themselves a social media expert can't even define social media properly? Just a thought.
Also in network marketing, and I have helped multiple people grow their platforms and start their business on social media. And let me tell you what the common denominator was. And it kind of like baffled me when I said that. And when I heard people like, get back to me and say what the common denominator was. And it was like, they started showing up as themselves. They started showing who they were. They weren't doing any gimmick. They just showed up authentically. So I invite you to, like I said, receive this in your way. Now, before I do start and kind of go into my whole teaching, I want to know your profession. I want to know what you do in the chat. So if you guys could just write it down, because I also want to know that I'm not only speaking to maybe a business owner, maybe I'm speaking to somebody who's just about to start their business, or somebody who's been doing this for 10 plus years and has no idea what they're doing.
I mean, if you've been doing something for 10, 11 years and you have no idea what you're doing, that's probably a good sign to tap out. Also, if you're joining imacademy, you're a contractor for them. You're a 1099 contractor. You're not a business owner.
Amazing. Serial entrepreneur, a vet, network marketing, a chef, professional dancer, a healer. Love that. A social media strategist. I love it. A dope camera guy. We love that. A consultant and a mom. Professional problem solver, network marketer. I love it. Chef, perfect. A realtor, amazing. So this is going to apply to every single one of you. I have worked with anywhere from service-based and product-based businesses, real estate agents, content creators, construction workers, opticians, you name it. I have pretty much worked with everybody in the book. So let's start. Okay. I want to let you guys know that the bottom line to you starting your social media strategy, and you're going to want to write this down, is you want to start creating content from a place of authority that's going to build trust for your audience. So what a lot of people lack, and let's be honest, this is a safe place, is confidence. Do we agree? I agree. So you guys can nod your head with me if you agree, comment, because we struggle with confidence. Okay. The comparison trap is real, and I'm here to address it because we can't act like it's not there. It's the elephant in the room that no one decides to address. It's there. We start comparing ourselves. There's so many network marketers. There's so many chefs. There's so many social media strategists. There's so many people, 100%. There's millions and billions of people in this world. So of course, there is going to be somebody who does what you do, but the confidence in knowing that there's one you, okay? The confidence in knowing that there is only one person.
It's only you. There's only one you, and you have to be authentic and do things authentically, right? What a groundbreaking advice that we have never ever heard anyone in MLMs say before.
Person like you, designed by God on this earth to do what you do. You have your own personal experience. You have your own journey.
I'm not particularly religious, but I find it hard to believe that God designed people specifically to be scammers in what resembles a product-based pyramid scheme. I just don't believe that he would specifically design people to do that.
And you have your own way of doing it. And the reason why people are going to go and buy into what you do and who you are, buy into what you do and what you're selling or what you're showing is because of who you are, not what you do. Okay. So And I realized that, okay, I was a dancer, like I had a dance studio, I was teaching Latin dance lessons. And then I realized, okay, everyone was following me there. And then I did network marketing and I built a team and ranked up to the highest leadership rank in 3 weeks. And then I realized, okay, this is great. I'm going to do apparel. And people kept going. Why? Because it wasn't what I did. It was the person that I was that allowed people to feel safe in those environments. So I challenge you to right now. I'm a very huge application person. You guys can hear me speak, but what is going to help you today is the application. So what I need you to do right now is to write down on a piece of paper, or if you can remember it, is who are you? And I know it's such a, vague question, but who you are. Okay. Consider, so you're going to write down what makes you unique compared to others in your field or industry. And I don't want you to write down, I have a large team. I don't want you to write down things that are outside of you. I want you to gather the things inside of you, because personal branding is your personality. It's your personal brand. So I can say, I'm kind, I'm loving, I'm honest, I'm innovative, I'm proactive, right? So I want you to write those things down, because when you know who you are and what you're bringing, that starts building your confidence. Now, the second thing you're going to write down is think about what you want other people to know about you. So this could be your skills, your talents, your personality traits. What do you want for other people to know about you? Sorry, that's a tongue twister. There you go. I just write it down. Okay. So in your field and in your industry and in what you're doing, what is going to stand out and what qualities are true for you?
Sorry, I realize I'm touching myself, but I'm just trying to scratch, but not really scratch, because I have a new tattoo and it's in the healing process where it's very itchy. So I'm like pretend scratching. I don't know if that makes it even worse.
Not what you think you want people to know about you or what you think people think about you, because that can get into this whole titles and labels. But I want you to identify that. This could be skills, like I said, talents, personality traits. And then the last thing is, what does success mean to you personally? To you, not a rank, not an income. For me, it's my parents having their own home So like Neno mentioned, I am from Colombia. I am a first generation Canadian Colombian. My whole family came here from Colombia 18 years ago. And the one thing that I want is for my family to have their own home. I want my mom to have her own home, and I want to be able to just provide that for them. I want to take them with me around the world. And so that's what success means to me. When I can take my family with me, that is success to me.
So we're asking about a why, right? Something that motivates these people the most to be in this business, which again, nothing universal. We've seen this so many times before, but I also want to note that I have the same aspirations. I really want to take care of my family. I want to be able to buy them or fix up one house that we have from my grandma. It needs to be renovated, but it's in a much better place, town than our current house, which our roof got blown up. If you've been following my community posts and stuff, you know, there was like a hurricane type storm recently, a few months ago, and our whole roof was lifted. Not the whole roof, but the majority of it was lifted by the winds, and everything in our backyard was just crushed because our house is kind of in the middle of nowhere. And I really want to be able to get my parents onto a better spot, better living situation. Would I do that by being a scammer in a product-based pyramid scheme? Never. I am working 4 jobs at the moment for a reason, because I have a goal to take care of my parents. But I found other ethical ways to bring in more money, to save up more money. Yeah, I understand you wanting to help your family, but that doesn't make it okay to become a scammer, in my opinion, where you're scamming other people out of money so that you can have more money for yourself, so that you can help your family ultimately. So I don't think that's okay.
Rest at night is success to me. So you're probably wondering, like, Sophia, what does this have to do about social media? And let me tell you why. Because when you stand for nothing, you fall for everything. And I'm sure you guys have heard that before. I'm going to say it again. When you stand for nothing, you fall for everything. So what's going to happen is I'm going to get on social media, just going to pull out my iPad, and I'm going to be scrolling and being like, oh, this girl's beautiful. I can't do what she does. Oh, this guy has more followers than me. I can't do what he's doing. Oh, she gets all these comments. I can't do that. So what happens? You forgot who you were and who you wanted people to know about you. And you just lost it all because you weren't standing for who you are. So personal branding is huge. Personal branding is the core of your social media brand. And let's be real. I don't know how you guys feel about this word, but at the beginning, when people called me an influencer, I was like, that's not what I am. I'm not an influencer. Don't call me an influencer. And I would like ban that word out of my vocabulary. But I said, you know what? I am a person of influence. That is what I am. You know, that is what God has called us to do. It's in the Bible, right? To be an influencer of the nations. We evangelize and we speak of God's word. We are influencing, and that is what you're doing in your business. That is what you're doing, by teaching people
Is the word influencer really in the Bible? I'm just having a hard time imagining God being, yeah, you're gonna post a shit ton of selfies in the future on social media platforms that someone else is gonna invent in the meantime, and you're going to influence. Your calling is to be an influencer on Instagram. Change people's lives by dragging them into a business model where the majority of them is never going to make any profit.
The trading markets, by giving people the business opportunity, by cooking for somebody, by healing them, you are influencing. You are an influencer. Okay? So adopt that word, because I learned to adopt it. And that is where it all stems from. Again, it's who you are, not what you do. Okay, so sometimes we need to remove the label out of that. Now, let's get into the content strategy. When it comes to building your content strategy, you're going to utilize your personal brand. Because if I were to tell you, okay, you're going to start making videos of you dancing and being all quirky, and you're like, no, because I'm very straight up. I'm very serious. Like, I'm a serious person, and I cut to the chase. That is not your personal brand. So the content isn't going to align with you. So I'm not here to tell you you're going to do dancing videos and pointing videos or talking videos at the camera, because you're going to decide what you're going to do after this call. But I'm here to guide you and kind of shift you in that direction. So after we've decided the personal brand is, you're going to, again, create your content from a place of authority. you guys need to realize that you are leaders in your industry right now. Whether there are thousands and hundreds of network marketers, whether there are hundreds and thousands of people that do what you do, you are the authority figure and the person of influence in your industry. But how are you going to show up as that? How? So we go into content pillars, right? I know you guys have heard that word, content pillars, kind of everywhere on social media, every graphic, you find it everywhere.
Again, Sophia, I mean, I don't mean to call out or be nitpicky, but it's not one word.
And this may rub people a wrong way. You know, I came on this call knowing, you know, I might ruffle some feathers a little bit, and I hope that you guys are okay with it, because I know Nano keeps it real and authentic, and so do I. And I know you guys love that as well. So we need to stop creating content for ourselves. Okay? Stop creating content for you. Oh, but I want to do this. Yeah, I know you do, because it's comfortable. Of course you want to create that type of content. You need to start creating content for your audience. Who is...
Take a note of this, guys. Just take a note of this. Write it down, because later on she's going to say something completely contradictory to this. Even though she also already said something that first she said you have to be authentically you. You have to be authentic. But now you have to be authentic, but you can't create the content that you want to create authentically. So already we're seeing a little bit of contradiction from a social media expert. So much contradiction that I think if someone was seriously trying to learn something on this call, it would leave them even more confused.
The person you want to bring on into your business? Who is the person that wants to that you want to bring into your storefront? Who is the person that you want to buy your book? Okay? And we're going to create this client avatar. Because right now, your avatar is yourself. Let's be real. We're creating content based on what we think we want. And it ends up being ourselves, because we're always around. Like, I'll be honest with you, I'm always here in my office. And so when I'm creating content, I need to get out of myself and think of a consumer and a client perspective, because I'm not buying my own services. I mean, I can, but I'm not going to do it. Right? So who is your client avatar? And this could be, again, a business partner. You could describe it, the person who's buying it. And I want you to get into their heads. I don't know if you guys have ever done this before, but we're literally going to take 30 seconds. I'm not going to be too long, but I want you to think about, what is this person listening to, looking at, what car they're driving, where do they live, how many kids do they have kids, are they married, are they in a relationship, do they eat breakfast, do they eat lunch, do they eat dinner, what do they do at night, what do they do in the morning? Because when I look at my client avatar, my person and my client, and if you're out here, say me, but wakes up early in the morning to go after their goals. They have slow mornings, they journal, they get in touch with themselves, they pray, they focus on their goal right in the morning. They head over to the gym or get in movement, and then they start their day. They're investing in themselves often and consistently. They receive money abundantly and often from multiple sources. That is my client avatar. Do they have kids? Yeah, they have kids, but they can also be single, and they can also be women and men. How do they spend their nights? With their loved ones.
Very inclusive. I think this is a theme that we see throughout these videos. Like, they're not very inclusive. There's nothing else. Men, women, single, kids. That's all.
Their family. They invest in their business during the day, but they make time for what's important for them, and they don't make excuses. Okay, so that is my client avatar. And I want you to get more specific than that. If somebody is buying your candle, I have my candle burning right here. Someone's buying your candle. Do they even like scents? Like, I mean, I'm actually not a candle person. I had this gifted to me and I'm like, wow, I'm loving this. But imagine me being your client and you being like, my client doesn't even like candles. I mean, I don't even like candles, right? So you also need to understand and be realistic. Okay, what does this person love, do, and feel? And I want you to get obsessed with that. Just like how you get obsessed with your goal, get obsessed with that person that's coming into your business. And that's how I build my network marketing business. I said, I am building a team of me's. And that's what I did. So I want you to do that right now. And And again, this might hit or not hit for some people, but stop creating content for everybody. I don't create content for everybody. I create content for the one person. And guess who that person was? Neno. I create content.
So be authentic, but don't create the content that you want. Create the content for your audience who you have to target. You have to figure out who your audience is. I guess my question would be, again, where did she get her expertise?
And for the people like Neno. And then guess what happens? The people come. And I didn't know when they were going to come. I didn't know who it was going to really bring on, but I knew that when I created the content, I said, this is for the one person. In creating content for everybody, you make your service and your product accessible for everybody. And it's not. Let's be real. You are not for everybody. And that was the hardest pill to swallow when I first started in my business. I was like, I want everybody to love me. I want everybody to buy my stuff. And then I shortly realized that I had 0 sales because I was trying to please everybody with my content, trying to give the fluffy and the butterflies to everybody, and it wasn't working out. Okay. So once I got very clear, it was great. It was perfect. Now, you might be like, Sophia, I have actually no idea who my client is. Like, I actually have no idea. Like, you're probably on this call with like a deer in headlights being like, oh my gosh, I've been doing it wrong. And I don't want to discourage you. So I'm going to give you, if you're in that space too, I also want to give you guys tactable. Yeah, clearly I don't speak English today, but tangible. I heard somebody mouth it and I just saw it. Thank you. I have Coach Mo right here in my little camera. So thanks, girl. I appreciate you. So here's how I started. Okay. Common interests. Mindset, motivation, for me was like content, influencing, faith, right? So content pillars and even like 10 things that stand out for your brand. And I started creating very generic content because in creating generic content, you could still, funnel out those weeds. Okay. You can still get, you still get your aces, you may get your kings, your jacks, you got to go through the card deck, all of that. Still funnels. Then you start realizing, okay, I'm getting a lot of people in this industry. So I started getting a lot of like real estate agents and medical estheticians and hairstylists. And I was like, this is amazing. Okay, I funneled it out into 3. What are these people's interests? What do they like? What do they do? And then I got clearer and clearer. So I want you to think you might have to start like this, right? So big, grand, very, not vague, but I would say like have kind of like this big outline and then go deeper and deeper and deeper. Right. And then what do the content pillars, where do they go? And here's where I told Neno, like when people are coming into your business, like I want to know your story. I want to know how you went from X to Z, how you did this to that, how you went from that to this, what mindset took you from there to there, what limiting beliefs did you have to overcome from here to here. And the thing is that we don't think that that's because we're so used to telling those stories, right? Like, if you guys agree with me, like you're probably so used to talking about yourself. So you're like, I'm tired of talking about myself because no one wants to hear about me. Have you guys ever felt like that? Like, I'm done talking about me because all I do is talk about me and people are probably tired of hearing about me. Let me tell you that that's not true because I love a good story. And I've told my story so many times, but every time I tell it, a different person hears it. And they're like, wow, like I needed to hear this. So every single time there's going to be a different person, like Neno right in front in Milan. Like it was like, that is one of the best reels you've created. And he's like, well, I've shared that before. I'm like, yeah, but not like that. So share your story. And that was part of one of the content pillars that we spoke about. And it was inspiration. So
there's one big thing missing in this part of the training. In my personal opinion, from my experience on social media, you can create whatever type of content you want. It can be the best. It can be authentic. It can be copy pasting successful people. Still does not guarantee that you're going to be successful on social media. There's a thing called the algorithm which plays the main role. And I managed to figure out Instagram algorithm back in 2021. I was getting like from 60 to 100,000 reach, like impressions. That's the amount of people that would see my posts, and I was getting a shit ton of likes, and my channel was growing. My account was growing and whatever. But it was fitness related content, which is not what I'm interested in anymore. I live healthy, I work out, I ride the bike every morning, things like that. But I just don't want to post fitness type of related content anymore. So I stopped and created a new account. The algorithm is the main factor here, and the fact that in this whole training, she's not gonna mention the algorithm one time, she's not gonna mention it at all, is ridiculous. If you're a social media expert, you should know and you should talk about the algorithm side of the things when you're trying to be successful at social media.
I break down my content pillars very kind of like easily and in a digestible way. It's promotional. So promotional, educational, inspirational, and edutainment. I think I wrote that right. So obviously educational is you're going to be teaching something. So what can you teach me? What skills do you have already that I can benefit from? Whether, and I want you to think about this. Think of somebody who has maybe like a very huge interest, but also a very low interest. Somebody who's slightly interested or somebody who's highly interested. So you want to go in both spectrums. So let me use this as an example. I have a pair of glasses right here. Okay. One of my clients actually sold me a pair of glasses. Believe me, it's very hard to sell me a pair of glasses, but she did it. So I had these pair of Prada glasses. My other glasses are somewhere else. And she said, you know what? Here are 5 reasons why your new pair of glasses is going to make you more money. And I was like, girl, tell me more. And I realized she had like all the reasons why I could make more money with a pair of glasses. And as soon as I put on the glasses, these aren't the glasses, by the way. As soon as I put on the glasses, I was like, I see myself making more money right away. Like, I should show you guys the glasses. They're upstairs though. And it was just interesting because that's the type of content people need to hear. This is educational pieces of content. Here are 5 reasons why day trading is going to do this, or here are 5 reasons why you haven't been able to become financially free. Right? Instead of being like, I want to teach you how you're going to.
Again, this is so generic. Where did you get your certificate? What makes you a social media expert?
A day trade today. Or I want to tell you why network marketing works for you. Well, here are 5 reasons why you haven't achieved financial freedom. And here are 5 reasons why you don't have the life you want. Or here is what your old life is costing you your new life because of this, right? And I think it's simple but difficult because we want to confuse things. We really love to confuse things. And here's what I learned with my coach is that I'm programmed in chaos. So the more chaos I have in my brain, the better I feel. I don't know, maybe it's a Latina thing. Maybe, maybe we just love the chaos. But I realized I started removing myself from that paradigm and saying, no, I can have ease. And when I started focusing on ease in my content, ease came. Ease came through clients, ease came through money, all of it. Why? Because I wasn't getting too complicated. And my ideal audience and client, like Neno said, didn't want the complicated stuff. He went and looked, he said, boom, bam, I want to know. And I got it. Right? So that is exactly what you need to start creating. What is the outcome? Right? What do you want them to know? And just tell them. So that's education, inspiration, right? You want to have something that you have a story, where you are, where you've been, what you've done. Take people through your journey in multiple different ways. I'm going to talk about the sensory stuff at the end, but in multiple different ways. Okay. Inspiration can look like a voiceover video, can look like a video of you walking, a video on your laptop, and a video of you speaking and reminding people that where they are now is not their end destination, right? That this is a journey. So you can take, quotes from your mentors, you can take quotes from everywhere, but you also have to know that your story is enough and where you are is enough. And what you have to share right now is enough to inspire. right? And edutainment. So I love a good educational entertainment kind of thing, because if you watch my stories and if you watch my reels, I think I'm funny. Some people may not, but I think I'm funny. And so when I post from a place of being like entertaining and still providing like, you know, a good time. Like, I'm not that serious. I love to have fun. And so I try to do that in between sharing with some value. Okay. And you know, if people laugh, they laugh. If they laugh at me and not with me, it's all cool, because I just genuinely enjoy bringing out that side of me. I feel like I'm serious a lot of the time. So it's fun. And then promotional. Okay. Can I just ask you guys when the last time you promoted your business or service was? Because every time I go on someone's page and I don't see something promotional, I'm like, so you're not asking for it. And the reason why you don't have is because you don't ask. You don't ask for the sale. You don't share what you do. And so people don't know. Closed mouth, closed.
Funny, because I feel like I see a bunch of people who are constantly talking about their business, constantly offering, asking, promoting, but they're still not successful in social media. I wonder why that happens.
Business. I remember I used to say that all the time. I remember when it would be like end of month and I'm like, go, go, go. And then everyone's just chilling in their couch. I'm like, you better go ask your mom, your auntie, your sister, your brother, everything. Right. And half of the time when people come on my page, you know what they ask me in my DMs? They're like, hey, what do you do? And then that's an indication for me. I'm like, I am not clear enough about what I do and how I can help people. It kicks me in the butt and being like, I thought I was doing all the right things. Okay, clearly I need to do more. Okay, so that is
maybe because you avoid using the actual name of the company and the words like MLM or network marketing or multi-level marketing, which is what this is. And that's why people are confused, because they're like, what the fuck are you doing? What is your job? Tell us more. Stop tiptoeing around the fact that you're an MLMer and people are gonna know what you do.
The content pillars. Now, for content specifically, I want to let you guys know that there isn't only one way to do it. You've probably been watching so many people's pages and think that there is one way to create content. There's Instagram Reels and there's stories and there's posts and there's YouTube and there's TikTok, there's LinkedIn, and there's so many of these things that can become so overwhelming. And I want to just let you know that there isn't only one way, and it is the way that you decide is going to be the way that brings you joy, brings you ease. So me, I love creating reels of me speaking. I love hearing my voice, but I also know that people love hearing me speak. Like the text on screen doesn't work for me, but me speaking right away, it like hits people differently. Now I went to school for social work, and so we studied senses, the sensory, right? If you guys know anything about psychology, everybody interprets information differently. And just because I'm speaking to you right now, you might be like, I have no idea what this girl's saying. And then you read it after in closed caption, or you read my blog or my LinkedIn article and you're like, I get it now. Why? Because you are a different.
There's actually subtitles on this, and I'm both reading and listening, and I still have no idea what the fuck you're saying, because none of your advice makes any sense, especially for people who are in the MLM.
And you receive information differently. So for some other people, it's audible and the video might not even matter. Whatever you're doing on the screen has no connection, but they can hear it, or you can impact them through the video. So whatever way that looks like for you, I already know what mine is, and it's 100% audible and visual, like 100%. When I show people how to do things and do tips and tutorials, people get it like this and they love it. When I speak, it's perfect. Written, I don't know. I don't like, I'll confess, I do not like to read. So maybe that is also why other people don't like to read my lengthy captions and blogs and articles, because I haven't had people drawing to me that way yet. So I want you to diversify your content in the way that feels good for you and that feels more enjoyable, because I feel like we like to tell ourselves a story, and you guys know this very well. We also heard it in the morning, like in the video, is that you get to decide what you're going to focus on.
Sorry, I had a delivery and this bell is so loud. It scares me every single time someone rings it.
This, no one's going to like it. Sophia, if I post this, what are they going to think of me? Well, you are giving attention to that, and where your attention goes, your energy is going to flow there. So yeah, you know what? You're going to create that content of you trying to, sell people this vision and this dream and this opportunity, but how you feel about it is super insecure because you don't know how people are going to receive it. And then you're going to be all like resistant. So what are they going to feel? They're going to feel resistance. They're going to feel insecurity. They're going to feel like this person kind of has some vibe about them. Okay. So avoid the reason why you can't and focus on why you will. If I told you that if you started showing up authentically today on social media, started posting your videos, started posting your content, that you would get X. So whether it is your dream goal, your dream car, your home, the amount of business partners you want, the income, I don't think you would hesitate. But that shouldn't be enough to drive you. You should already want to say, you know what? I'm serving this one person. Like I said, your client avatar, I'm pushing for that one person, right? So that's where your focus should be. Okay. Now I want to give, there's 10 minutes left. Wow. I speak really fast, but it feels like I just always run out of time. I want to give you guys some tangible things to do. Okay. To start creating your content today, because let's be real. We need some application. We need some activation here. This isn't just about, receiving this information, because I assure you, half of you guys, when you hop off this call, you might just say, I just don't want to. But if I give you some activation and some application of what you guys have to do, and then I'll share a little bit about, if you guys want to connect with me after, you can. And I also want to share ways that, I'm starting a community of ways that it makes it easier for people to create content as well, one that Neno is going to be part of as well. So let's master. The first thing I want to like to give you guys right now is mastering your stories. How many times do you guys post on stories? Let's say a day. Tell me in the chat so I can see. If you don't post at all, say 0. If you post like me, kind of caterpillar like, perfect. I love it. Like 7 plus 5 to 10. Perfect. I feel like too much. 0. Yeah. Well, let me tell you that there's never too much. Let me tell you that one. Okay.
As a social media expert, I'm surprised that she is saying that there's no such thing as too much. I personally feel like it doesn't matter how popular you are or whatever, how big your social media is. If you're posting 30 stories every single day, most of the people are gonna get bored after a while, because it's who has time? No one does. And people get bored, especially if it's like the same old crap over and over again, just a little bit of a different format. But ultimately you're selling you're showing off your lifestyle and you're selling your business opportunity to people. I think it's quality over quantity. And I see a lot of bigger influencers do exactly that. They're not spam posting on stories. They're just posting here and there. But it's interesting and it's engaging and it's like, oh, look what they're up to now. But let me know down below what you think about that. Is there such thing as too much stories?
Okay, there's never ever too much stories and content. So one way that I have realized that I have grown my platform is mastering my stories, because yes, I post on Reels, but stories is where...
Also, for the majority of people that are on this call, let's keep in mind that this is an MLM call, and also majority of them don't have huge social media accounts. So the majority of them don't have followers that follow them for the same reasons why they follow influencers and whatever. If they post a shit ton of stories every single day and just friends and family and here and there some random person that follows them on social media is watching it, they're gonna get bored. Like, who are they posting the stories for if they don't have the reach, if they don't have the following? For the majority of people on this call, this is useless advice.
Where my engagement drives. And so like I mentioned, on niching down on your topics and your hooks like that, you can also do this on your stories and then funnel people. So I don't know if I have any web experts or social media people already, but if you know anything about funnels, is that people enter through one way and it kind of triggers into different ways. So stories is my funnel. People start at my stories. You come on my page, the first thing you do is you click on my story, and then you're like, tap, 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 click the link, click the reel, click the repost, all of that. My stories have the most engagement. I have anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000 like story views a day. And then my reels, you know, kind of balance in as well. So let's talk about mastering your stories. And this can go not just with stories, but this can be also with, you know, your reels as well. So it is for you guys to have something more planned. And there is more to your stories than just, you know, you guys talking on the story. Okay. So I have designed in my community, in the inner circle, to give you guys day by day plays of what you're going to post on your story. And right now I'm going to give you 3. So we're going to do wherever you guys want to do them within the week. So are you guys ready for this value? Okay. Because this is jam packed. Okay. It's in my inner circle. I haven't launched it. I was actually a little bit scared to share it with you guys today, because
to me, this feels like this whole call was actually as her little advertisement. To me, it just sounds like she wants more followers. She wants to connect with people who want advice from her, aka again, she just wants followers on Instagram, and she wants to sell them this little course thing that she is preparing. I think that the whole point of this was to sell that to these people. So
it's going to be open for registration next week. But I said, you know what? I want to serve you guys. Like, how can I serve you with me just coming on and not giving you something to take away? And this is part of being a servant, is that, you know, I don't get anything from it, but I just want to be able to give it to you guys. So the first one, we're going to do stories that connect. So you know, like I mentioned, people don't buy for what you do. It's for who you are. So 100%, you're going to do anything that is real, open, and authentic by creating a person-to-person connection right there on the stories. Okay. So you're going to create that person-to-person connection that's going to encourage them to continue to learn more about you. So maybe today you're going to post about, you know, you journaling. What's going to connect with that person? You can literally film a video of you journaling. It doesn't have to be you speaking on stories, right? A video of you journaling, a video of you writing down, a video of you there, and you can write something on the text of the screen. Or you can speak about, like, today's Friday. I love Fridays. Once upon a time, I never had a Friday off. Like, I was working 9 a.m. to 4 a.m. on Fridays because those were the days to make the most amount of money. But now I can sit here on a computer screen and pour into these amount of people and just sit here and not have to worry. That story connects. I don't even know. I just pulled that out of my butt. I'm so sorry, guys. I did used to work 9 a.m. to 4 a.m. The next one is educate and inspire. Now, there's no such thing as too much education. And some people say, like, oh, I don't want to share too much value because then, you know, that scarcity mindset. Straight up. I post on my stories things that, you know, people can pay for, like things that I've literally paid so much money for, but I've still gone ahead and poured into the value because I don't think about what's in it for me. How is this going to benefit you? And that's where you want to create the content about, not about your business, not about how you're going to grow and expand your team, but you're going to create the content about this education and inspire about what it can do for you. What it can do for your audience. Like, I'm pointing at you. So what is it going to do for you? Okay. I'm not going to create about, oh, how's this going to grow my business? And how am I going to, you know, reach 6 figures? And how am I going to reach the next rank and get recognized? No, what can it do for them? Okay. And you know, this post is going to show your audience that you are an expert in your field, because you are an expert, and you want to show them that you are credible. And that
how are they credible and how are they experts if they just joined an MLM and they don't even know how to grow their social media yet? Like, just joining an MLM does not make you an expert. I firmly believe that this lady right here is not an expert at social media either. I believe that she's just self-proclaimed.
Have to choose you. And I don't want to turn this into like a FOMO thing. Like, oh, if you don't have me, you can't. No, I don't love FOMO. Like, I do not like thriving off of FOMO, but you want to show them that you are credible in what you do because you really know your stuff, and then show them how incredible your offers are, your service, why this is going to change their lives. Talk about the benefits, talk about, you know, how you can move, they can move with you along that journey, and how expansive it's going to be for them. And it's going to get them closer and closer and closer to buying. Let me tell you, it may not be the first time that they see it and they're like, I want this right now, but that's the power of nurturing. As soon as you can nurture that audience, give them rich soil, that's what you want to do. You want to pour in, you want to give them food. Okay. And as you nurture them, they're going to get closer to a cold lead, warm lead, and then hot lead. And I know you guys know that very, very well. As soon as everybody comes on my social media, I consider them a hot lead. They're hot. They're hot until they get they're hot. We speak in the DMs and right away they're scorching hot. Okay, we start out hot when you guys reach, because I already know you connected with me for a reason, so I want to serve you. Okay, last one, let's engage and entertain. Okay, so usually on Fridays, today, you know, I like to showcase my lifestyle. I don't do much, but I do enjoy walks with my dog and getting done up, and I enjoy trying out new places to eat. So that is usually what I showcase. And in the meantime, you can engage and entertain with different people. This is a great way. Let me give you guys my hack on how I built my business. I moved to a brand new city when I started my business. Okay. That meant that nobody knew who I was here. Nobody has any idea of who I am. Everybody knows who I am in other places. But I was like, I walk into places and people are like, hi.
Do they? This girl talks as if she's got millions and millions of followers on social media. Unless you're coming like from a tiny village like myself, I could be as well. Like back where I come from, everyone knows who I am. And it's like, yeah, because there's like 200 people living in the like.
They don't say like, oh my God, you're Sophia. And I was like, oh God, this is going to be so hard. But then I started showing up to the coffee shops, to the restaurants, to the spas, and I started getting in the rooms of places that I knew I wanted people to know who I was, and I started tagging them. I started tagging like at so-and-so's bar today, eating this delicious food at this place, and started tagging locations, and people started to engage with me from this city. And I was like, this is exactly it. But if I wasn't posting on my story and decided that that day was going to be my engagement and entertainment day, those leads or people wouldn't have came in, period.
This is very dangerous advice. I don't understand why people in MLM specifically, a lot of them seem to think that social media is a safe space. You tagging your location when you're at the location, it could be so dangerous. Why would you want to share your exact location with strangers online? I'm concerned for her if she does that, but I'm also concerned for the people that have kids and families and stuff, and if they start tagging their exact locations, like it's not that hard to figure out where you live, where you move, if you're constantly spamming people on stories and tagging every single location you're in every single day.
Okay, so you know, I don't want to take up too much of everyone's time, but that was, you know, what I wanted to share with you. You have the power to master your social media in the way that it looks like for you to show up authentically, for you to show up confidently. And these are strategies and these are pillars that you're going to be able to apply to your business based on what you want the outcome to be. Again, your outcome doesn't have to be like mine. We don't have to have the same you know, business model to know that you're going to get your clientele in the way that you want them to come in. Okay. So I'm going to close this off with just, first of all, I want to say a prayer for you guys before I leave. But before that, if you guys want to know more about the inner circle, or just want to be a part of whatever I am building, or just want to get connected, there is a link just in the chat for you guys to just get access to the information about the inner circle, or you can DM me. You know, I respond to all my messages by myself. And I just want to get connected with you guys. But thank you so much. I really hope that you guys just soak in this knowledge. It is a lot. Watch the replay and just really, you know, you guys are just really, really incredible already. So I'm just grateful. And I just want to say a quick little prayer, Neno, if you don't mind. It'll be like 30 seconds.
Please go ahead. No, we already do it every morning right after the
all
call.
right,
So you already fit right into with us. You fit in right.
Okay, thank you. So, Father, I just thank you for this beautiful day. I thank you for this Friday and for this new breath of life that you give us today, Lord. I thank you for all these amazing souls on this call and what you are doing in their lives and their business, Lord. And I just thank you because you are reminding us today of who we are, and who we are is more important than what we do. And we are your children, Lord. So I just ask that as we go into our business and we go into the world, Lord God, that we remember who you've called us to be. And out of that, we share the influence and we showcase our passion and the talents that you have brought with us, so that we can impact, that we can bring more people to the kingdom, but ultimately that we can have success, growth, and love, and have it more and more abundantly. We thank you for what you're doing and what you're already going to do in advance. We thank you for the breakthroughs that are happening and the people that are going to be impacted through the sharing of your word. I just thank you and I ask that you bless everybody and they're going and they're coming, bless their families, bless their businesses, their kids, and everything that they do on this day. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank
Wow.
you guys so much.
That was amazing, man. Yeah, we need you on Mornings with Anna a little bit more, man. You fit right into exactly everything that we got going on here, and that was beautiful. Thank you for the prayer. Thank you for the value. Guys, make sure you guys follow Sophia. Like I said, you guys know that if I bring anybody on Mornings with Nano, it's because she's aligned with our vision. She's aligned with what it.
Okay, we're gonna stop that right there, because for me, again, I still feel like the whole point of this thing for her was to advertise her social media and to advertise her little course or whatever she's come up with recently to get people to buy it. I'm gonna wrap that up here, but let me know down below what you thought about this. Let me know down below if you found any of the advice that she said groundbreaking and new and that you've never heard before on these calls, and if you think it's gonna be helpful to anyone. And thank you so much for watching, as always, especially if you made it this far. You're a trooper. I appreciate you, and don't forget to click that like and subscribe button. It's a nice free way to support my channel if you would like, and big shout out to all my channel members as always. Thank you for being here, guys, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.